Hello, this is me, Samantha, the Legal Beagle. Welcome to my channel. I want to thank you guys for, first of all, next month is December. It's not only the end of the year, but it's coming up my birthday again. And I'm excited about that. Well, you know what? Why is it that I guess I'm getting so excited about birthdays? I guess because, I'm thankful to be here. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming to my channel. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed and you're looking at my videos, subscribe. Help my channel out. Help it out. Not for money wise, but for educational wise. Because, I try to bring upfront forethought. And here's the nose of Pingy. Come on. This is Pingy. It's coming up his birthday. He just so spoiled. He just spoiled. But anyway, we're going to get right to the core of what it is. Again, hit my subscribe, hit the notification wherever that may be, and let's get started. Okay, I'm going to give you some updates on things that I've been working on after I just make this discussion, but I'm going to get right to the topic. You know, a lot of these cell phone companies are, they you get a phone, they offer these get phones and great plans and everything. And I was with Sprint for 5 years, and Sprint had the most awful customer service, awful billing. I mean, my bill looked like a car note, and this was back here in the early 2000s. Back then, they had that, they didn't have unlimited data then. They had the data, and then you had to wait to a certain time to call the roaming and stuff. And I used to try to do that, but then operate my business. My phone bill back in the 20s was like $400 or $500. That was a month. And so this new company came out, and I was skeptical about it. And this man at the Radio Shack told me it was a good phone, and I would be happy with it. And that was Verizon Wireless. I got I got me a phone. They gave me $100 toward my phone. Phones weren't expensive then. They were like $400, and with $100 or $200, you just pay like $30-$40. And I was excited. And I've been with Verizon for over 20 years. And I remember when I got my children on to the plan, and they had the, $1,000 text messages for, I forget how much it was. And my daughter got her Verizon phone, and within hours she had texted 1,000 people. And Verizon called me, and that's when they came out with the unlimited plan. And I was on that. I promise you, I was on that. I told all my family and friends about Verizon. They still do have excellent coverage. You very seldom get a drop. The quality is good, and it was just amazing. And so I've always admired Verizon. Pinky, cut it out. Come on. He's so spoiled. He's just so spoiled. So anyway, well, after being with them for 20 years, I'm able to get, I got some lines on that phone. I got lines. I got a tablet. I got a watch, stuff like that. And I paid it off, and even though my bill has been high, my main concern is to keep the phone on. Why? Because, activities that I'm in. So back here in March of 2000, I made a purchase, and the manager changed my plan, changed my primary number without my permission. And I didn't realize that until December of that following year. December. It was in December. I realized that. So after I called Verizon, they told me they couldn't do anything. I called their executive office. For 20 years, I called their executive office over little, issues about, being overcharged and they don't want to take the payments off, doing little things. So I have built up, they say I had 35 complaints, but I always kept it inside. I never took it to another level. Well, when they changed the plan and everything, things started going haywire. I couldn't use the credit cards on file. My account got deleted online. They, payments that normally would post, it wouldn't post. It was saying that it had been returned and the money's still in my account. I noticed they're not taking cash out. So if because a lot of times I paid my phone bill through my cash app. And the reason why is because, it was coming through cash app. Why should I put it in my account, pay that $25 extra, and then have to deal with that? So it was as if I was, that was more convenient. Well, I found out that Verizon no longer takes cash app. They don't take cash app credit cards. So, I'm going through this process because I don't understand that, even with my bank card and other stuff, it was still saying it wasn't going through. So I had to take the money out of my account, take it to an authorized dealer that's not an official Verizon store, and charge some money to pay my bill. So, I'm still going through this. Still, they Verizon people that when you call, it was saying Verizon was closed, and you said, well, maybe you called at the wrong time. No, you called through normal business hours. It was saying that they were closed. So I'm reporting all of this, and they making it seem like it was a lie and everything. So, and then it came out that it did, because they were cutting the phones off. If like, for instance, if you try to make a payment arrangement and stuff, yeah, I've done that. I've been through that. And then they'll say, well, it's closed. So you trying to make a payment arrangement, you couldn't, and then your phone got cut off, and then somehow you had to go through somebody. I had to call my daughter. My daughter had to call Verizon in order for them to cut the phone back on. Then they turn around and they charge you reconnection fee per $20 per line. Now they charging you $7. They're going up from $7 online to $10 online if you call customer service. They're not even disclosing that, they're going up on their fees with as far as services. So they just can't bill you for something and then tell you, okay, well, so sad, too bad, But anyway, so I'm still dealing with this. My last month, I had, I wasn't feeling well. And, I paid the phone bill off. This month come along, and this is where it gets. They said my bill was one amount, but then they sent me something saying it was another amount. Now, with that being said, and I'm not an attorney, I want to disclose this before I go even further. Now I'm finna go get legal. Okay, my bill is one high and one low. And you saying that it's validated through the high. That they not finna validate the low. They finna validate the high. No, I just got a email and a text saying that I owe this amount. Well, they put these credits on your account. Okay, so I didn't know anything about it. Anytime somebody puts something, either a credit or a charge or whatever on your account, they have to notify you. They can't just put it on there and not notify you. They have to notify you in writing that, look, I'm messing with your account. Because as sure as they can put a credit on your account, they can put a charge on your account. You feel me? Okay. So then I said, okay. I said, Lord, I'm dealing with Equifax. I'm dealing with escrow.com. Dealing with these lawyers. I said, please, God, you say you gave me a gift. You say you gave me a gift, God. And I said, well, I don't know. But anyway, so the man at the Verizon, because anytime you have a cell phone and it's not the right amount, or something is wrong and all of that, you do have a recourse. If you read your contract, every company now, mostly 99% of them, says, hey, you got to arbitrate. You can't take me to court unless you arbitrate. Okay. So I said, okay, well, this has been going on since June. I found out in December that my phone, the agent, the sales manager did all this stuff. Okay, you fix my phone. May comes up. My phone been acting up. Here it is. It's July. It's July going into August. It's still like that. I need to arbitrate this matter. So the executive office got mad and said, look here, don't you ever call us no more. We ain't finna give you nothing else. Like they doing me a favor. So I said, okay, I'll take that first hit. I'm not finna take no more second hit, but I'll take that first hit. So, I said, okay, well, what is the arbitration? Arbitration is, for Verizon, it is the Better Business Bureau. It is Consumer Financial. It's anything that's outside of Verizon. So I did that. I've been with them for 20 years. I've had my share of bills and all this other stuff. But what really did it was that when I called them about the bill, and the lady said, well, you know what? You had 3 reconnection fees. Okay, well, let's talk about that. And then when I did, she shut up. When I told, okay, well, this is what, y'all were doing all of this, cutting me off and saying that my bill, my check wasn't no good, stuff like that. She said, well, we gave you 6 credits. You didn't give me nothing. Under the Fair Billing Act, you supposed to correct that account. If that account is wrong, you supposed to correct it. That's your job, is to correct it. That's their job, to correct it. And I'm gonna tell you something. Don't ever let a cell phone company or any other company say that you owe this amount. No, you don't owe. I'm showing a balance due of this. Now that's what they supposed to say. But don't sit, when they start saying you owe this and you say, well, yeah, then you owe it. So back to the high balance and the low balance. Okay, she's saying I owe the high balance. Ma'am, no, I don't. You can't prove that. Yes, I can. Let me go over the account. No, I don't need you to go over that account, because I got a low balance here. Before you explain the high balance, you better explain that low balance. Then explain the high. Where the extra $100 come from? Well, if you let me go over the bill, no, I don't need you to go over the bill. Pinky, don't do that. I don't need you to go over the bill. I don't need you to go over the bill. All I need to know is that I need to make a dispute. Verizon wouldn't even let me make a dispute on my own bill. On my own bill. And see, this guy that thinks he's part of executive services, I want to email them and tell them what their roles are. What their roles are. My question is, at this point, is that I want my bill fixed. So I started doing some research. And thank you, Alicia. I do, And I found out that Verizon has 2 class action lawsuits. One in New Jersey, that's where their headquarters at. They deal with the Better Business Bureau. And second of all, I'll tell you about that one. An attorney is suing Verizon Wireless, claiming that Verizon put on these additional charges and stuff, especially with the insurance. And I've had experience with that. Verizon tells you that, they can insure anything that's on a Verizon account. So I put an old tablet on there. Come to find out, it's not insurable because I didn't purchase it through Verizon, but that's not what Verizon told me. That's not what Verizon told me. So my question is that, like I said, it's just, you have to, somewhere along the line, you can be part of the class action, or you can go through the Better Business Bureau. Right now I'm going through the Better Business Bureau. But let me explain how the class action works. He says he has over 150,000 customers that's in that class action. So where does that leave me? Because when I called, they said we got enough clients, I was like, shucks, missed it. Hate it. But then I got to realize I'm going to be part of it anyway. How? Because once they do a settlement, once they do whatever, then they got to send notification to every Verizon customer, which is me, and deal with that. So that's how I'm still part of the class action, even though I'm not part of that class action. So that makes a lot of sense. So if you have a Verizon phone, check and see. My thing is check and see if your cell phone carrier has a class action lawsuit in. If they do, get involved. Get involved. Now, before I end that, I'm going to go ahead and give you a brief synopsis of what's going on in my other case. Well, let's start with the big one, credit acceptance. Well, after I didn't go to the Supreme Court and everything, I did contact my attorney general for my state, and I did tell them what was going on. I provided my legal documents, and I told them that even I never got anything from it. Plus, I told them that they never asked for anything. And because of that, I was able to get in on that class action using my previous stuff. So it's not really res judicata, and res judicata means being prosecuted again, going over the same thing. But no, because this is what the outcome of it. So right now, my thing with credit acceptance is over. Credit acceptance is being sued in so many states by the attorney general, the state attorney general. So whatever state that you're living in, I'm asking, go check it out, ask them. If not, ask them to follow up on it. But in a case in Missouri where this woman won $1 million, she won $1 million against her thing. She was credit acceptance pulled out of the state of Missouri. They didn't do business. Since then, since all these class actions, the CEO, Robert Barrett, he has resigned. He's no longer with credit acceptance, and that's a good thing. So, as far as the Shaw, my lawsuit with Shaw, that's a law firm, and that's in New York, Boston, Washington, D.C. Those are the ones that was represent Equifax. Equifax gave their law firm my credit reporting account. And what they did was they tried to attempt to use that to force me into taking a real low settlement, and I refused. And what they did was they stopped trying to fix my credit, and they was doing things to my credit, but they had control. So now, since I upgraded the charge to a Computer Fraud and Abuse and Misuse Act of 1986 and 2020, half of the lawyers have resigned. In fact, they went beyond resigning. They basically left the firm. Yeah, they basically left the firm. Some notified the court, some didn't. And how I found out is that, if you pro se and, you have to do your legal work and, you upfront agree. That's why I tell you, always communicate. If you work in pro se, always communicate with the attorney on the opposing end, because a lot of times you find out stuff just by sending emails, or just by, talking to them. They tell you stuff, they send you stuff through email. So that's one of the most important things. So anyway, I found out that the lawyer had just left. His email came back. I quit. I'm no longer with this firm. I said, okay, this is the fourth person in 2 months that have just left. They just left. I said, so I filed a notice of hearing. Then I turned around and filed a summary judgment and a default judgment because, one, the summary judgment is that there's no issues to argue about. The firm has been using, not just with the firm, but with Equifax, they're saying that I'm violating Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights says I can go in anybody's court and sue anybody anytime I feel like it, how many times I feel like it. That's my right. But that's what they was using against me. So anyway, and as far as my they're doing the Equifax, and that was the same defense. They was in appeal. They couldn't bring nothing up because in appeal, you can't, unless it's a criminal appeal or it's something that you're going to find out afterwards. The criminal court of appeals don't listen to new evidence. You have to go through the district court and then turn around and ask them, could you produce it, and then turn around and put it in the court of appeals. So right now I got Equifax in the court of appeals. And how that came about is that I asked them, I couldn't understand, why are you letting them do all of this stuff, plead stuff that's baseless, and y'all seem like it's like it's nothing, like that's part of litigation. And see, that's one thing you have to realize when you pro se, when you represent yourself, you have to know what's the difference between shit and sugar. Excuse me for saying it. You gotta understand what a pleading is a court procedure. But when they go to pleading about stuff that has, you talking about your credit, and they talking about, your mama got a record for prostitution, and you got a record for theft. What they got to do with my credit? I didn't steal my credit. See that? So you have to know what's the difference between pleading shit and sugar. Pleading is if they said, well, we didn't do this wrong. It was an error. We corrected it. Blah, 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 blah. Instead, they saying, okay, well, this is one thing. When they start bringing up stuff that has nothing to do, you guys for a default judgment, because that's nothing that has nothing to do with the case. The complaint is what's got something to do with what it is. So I'm in the court of appeals now. I won't hear anything until probably like February of next year, February or March of next year, and I'm expecting it. Okay, finally, what else? I did that. My escrow, internet service. The guys don't use that. Please don't use that company. I found out doing legal research, that company is not even licensed in half of the states. Or their license have been suspended to do business in that state. I also found out that I guess they had a real bad compliance compliance officer. That's the one that makes sure that all the things like the licenses and stuff are legit. He must not been on his job, because they got rid of him and hired this lady who has legal and compliance. So she's coming in dealing with his mess. So once again, I got a bad judge, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time when you know something and you don't have a law degree, and then this color don't make it any better, especially here where I'm at in the South, because the city I live in now, they don't expect black people to know their rights or be able to, stand up for themselves and all of that. And, so when, especially in court, because when I hear a white judge to ask me, are you going to law school? Have you practiced law? Are you in college? No. I was, but no, I'm not. Have you applied for a law degree? No. And then they start, it's like it's becoming a challenge. Well, I had, I filed a complaint against the escrow in July. And the judge said that he let me in. He let me in the court now, but he said he got to look at my complaint and make a decision. Well, I ain't never really heard of that, but okay, I'm pro se. I'm not finna bulk the system. But I knew what he had, some comments he had made in the other case. So I asked him nicely, just go ahead and resign because you made some comments. Well, I guess that must have made him mad. I think I do that a lot. I don't know why, but I think I do that a lot. And I try to take a subtle approach, but I don't think they do work. But anyway, so he said no. He said no, he wasn't going to do it. So, fast forward, here it is July, August come up. He said he going to look at it when it's practical. That means, in other words, that means I'm going to get to it when I get to it. And I said, okay, all right, well, I said, all right, I'm going to, August come, September come, October come, okay. November come. Okay, now, okay, now. I know somewhere along the line you could have made a decision that it's been going on 7 months. It's going on a while. I hope I'm saying 7 months. Anyway, so I called the clerk and then I read up on the rules. Didn't say anything about an order. So I filed. I served them and went on. I also removed eBay from the lawsuit. And people ask me why. And I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I removed them because I had evidence, but I didn't have a strong evidence. So I backed out of it. And I focused on escrow. So make a long story short, he didn't rule against dismissing eBay. He ruled on the summons and told them that he going to extend it to whenever period that he get around to doing it. So yesterday, over the weekend, I worked on it real hard. And I didn't ask him to recuse himself. I asked the district court. That's the guy that's over the case. See, the masters just monitor the case for the district court. I asked the district court, get rid of him. And I went into detail. And I'm going to tell you something. I know when I do something so good that the court clerk, when she see it, before she can even go in the back and file it, she stopped and started. See, they read our stuff. They read our stuff too. She was like, I walked out, I turned around. She just leaned over. She just looking good. I said, yeah, see, she knows some meat on that bone. So I'm waiting on the outcome of that. Probably won't hear nothing until next week after the Thanksgiving holiday. So anyway, but like I said, give me your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think? So I want to thank you guys for supporting my channel. I do send the donations. All the donations that you help me, even though it's not a big channel, it helps me stay focused with, the little bills that I have to support this channel. And I am still working on my podcast. I'm trying to find it where I can invite you guys in so that you guys can, we can have a conversation, or we can talk about things that, brainstorm and then post it on my page. What do you think about that as well? Give me some ideas, please. I mean, I'm not computer savvy like I need to be, but I thank you guys. I want to thank you. Be safe this holiday season. I want to just tell you that, one thing about it, I want to say is that before I leave, I don't have that much time. I want to give a rest in peace to a Memphis rapper. I'm from Memphis, and he was a huge entrepreneur, benefit to the community, and he was gunned down, senseless. And I want to give a shout out to his family, and I want to say that my prayers are with you guys, and keep them uplifted in prayer and ask God to give them justice. Thank you for watching my channel. Hey, you guys be safe. I'm not cooking that much this weekend. And, you know, don't forget to donate. Thank you. Thank you. And support my channel. Thank you so much.